Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to Real Estate Facts. In today's episode, you'll learn about 5 real estate myths versus facts. My name is Andrew Finney. Please consider me your real estate geek. I am always here to help. If you need help finding a great agent where you live or you simply want to drop me a line, my contact information is below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. So let's go ahead and lead in with myth versus fact number 1. And that really comes down to the advent of technology and thinking, with so much information online, why do I even need a real estate agent to buy a home or sell a home anymore? And that's a perfectly great question, and it deserves a wonderful answer. So here we go. So the fact is that with so much information online, you need to be able to decipher that information, and buying a home or selling one is something that most of us will only do 1 to 3 times over the course of our entire lifetime. Laws and rules always change, as do the contracts that we use to purchase or sell them. So in having a great real estate agent, a trusted real estate advisor in your area working with you can be the difference between a successful purchase or a successful sale, or actually losing thousands and thousands of dollars in the process. I have seen it and I have heard it all too often of people that were going to go do a for sale by owner, and only to realize that, hey, to begin with, right now the National Association of Realtors reports that only 8% of the people that put their home up for sale by owner actually are selling them. And normally when they do, they could have paid a real estate agent typically about 25% as a real estate commission, which is absurdly high, of course, but that's the difference in between the price that people were able to get with a real estate agent versus selling on their own. And the same thing is true whenever a buyer goes to look for a home and they're like, hey, you know what, I don't need a real estate agent. I don't need a real estate agent to help me buy a new home construction. I don't need anyone protecting my best interest. But that right there is exactly the point of why you want a trusted real estate advisor. We are here to protect your best interest, whether you are buying a home or selling a home. Use us. We're happy to help. We know the process and we're always in the game. I'll put a card up right now about how to find a great real estate agent in your area. And again, I will have my contact information below if you want help finding a top agent where you live, whether you're buying or selling. So let's get into real estate myth number 2. Real estate myth number 2 has to do with buyers thinking they have to put 20% down on a home. And it makes a lot of sense because after the most recent credit and housing crisis that we had in 2008-2009 timeframe, it became very difficult to get a mortgage, and lenders are extremely strict. And financing was killing deal after deal after deal, and a lot of lenders in many cases were requiring a 20% down option to be able to buy a home with a mortgage. That's not the case anymore. Today, even though the housing criteria the mortgage criteria has gotten a little bit easier to qualify for, it's no time to sit on our hunches and take a step back. The lenders are still looking at a lot of factors, and they're definitely checking out your income, your assets, your credit, and verifying your employment to ensure that you're good to go. And then whenever all of that process is done, it's called getting a loan pre-approval letter. If you don't have one of those and you didn't submit your income, your assets, your credit, and your employment verification to a lender, then you don't have a pre-approval letter, and you could experience a lot of headaches whenever you get ready to go into the closing process on your new home. Take the time up front. Watch this video, watch other videos like this, and learn everything that you can from your trusted real estate advisor and local loan officer so that you are successful when it comes time to buying your house. It's very important to understand that. So again, you don't have to put 20% down on a house. In fact, you can get conventional loans with as low as 1% to 3% down. You can get FHA loans with 3.5% down, or sometimes less if you're going on a down payment assistance program. It's really about getting in touch with that trusted real estate advisor and local loan officer to discover and explore your options together so that you can choose what's best for you. Real estate myth number 3. The appraiser is always right. I'd love to be able to sit here and tell you the appraiser is always right, but sometimes they're just not. Sometimes they appraise a property lower than it should be appraised for. And there are steps that we as professional real estate agents can take to rebut an appraiser. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the fact that we're here to protect your best interest means we're surely going to try if you're that buyer, and it's the difference of being able to purchase your home and the seller saying, yeah, I'll go ahead and move forward with this, or not. That's you want a professional real estate agent on your corner and on your side whenever that happens, don't you? So if you're a seller, It's important to consider that a buyer cannot get a home loan for more than their appraised value, so you may need to be prepared to reduce your price in case it doesn't come in. Or you might want to renegotiate it and see if the buyer has the ability to kind of meet you halfway, or see if they can come up a little bit. They may or may not be able to, but as a seller, be realistic. You know, the market value of your home is obviously set by what a buyer is willing to pay, but just because a buyer is willing to pay that doesn't necessarily mean the appraiser is going to agree that your home is worth that value. And if that's the case, a renegotiation needs to take place, and ideally you, the seller, will be reasonable and drop your price, because keep in mind, when you sell your home, you're going to be buying a new one, aren't you? And let's put good karma out there and positive energy, so that whenever it comes back around, you may have paid it for it over here and it might have been a little bit frustrating for you, but hopefully somebody pays it for it to you whenever you buy your new place as well. Real estate myth number 4 has to do with you, the seller. Spring is the best time to sell. You know, everybody thinks that spring and summer are the best time to sell, and there's a lot of reasons why sometimes they think it's the best time to sell. The best time to sell is when inventory is low, and that's usually the dead of winter. The dead of winter and the later times in the year is whenever you see less and less homes on the market, yet you still have buyers in the market. The reason that a lot of sellers think that the spring and summer are the time to sell is because so many buyers come out of the woodworks in the spring and the summer because they're looking to buy their new place before the next school season. Keep in mind, many buyers these days don't necessarily have families. They don't necessarily have kids. So you're excluding a whole section of the population whenever you're not planning on putting your home on the market, and also not getting the best price for your home that you otherwise could if you were putting it on in the dead of winter or during the holiday seasons, so that you can actually get a better price, get a serious buyer that's going to be saying, hey, I'm ready to go right now. I love your house. Let's move on it. So consider that whenever you're planning out the time frame that you're putting your home on the market. Real estate myth number 5 is that you don't need to bother holding open houses. Well, yes and no, and maybe so. This really depends on your area. Now, I will say that as a professional real estate agent, that you will get more buyers into your home because you're literally opening the doors in an open house format for your real estate agent to attract buyers, market your property, and get as many qualified buyers in there as possible, taking a look at the house. And what that can do is actually be a boon to the word of mouth about your house. Maybe somebody goes into that house and they think to themselves, you know, it's not quite right for us, but my cousin Sally or my brother Bill, you know what, this might be right for them. I am going to go ahead and get on my little fancy smancy smart device and go ahead and forward this information over to them and suggest that they contact this real estate agent here and ask them some more questions and set up a time to come see it if they can't see it during the open house. So doing that, you're literally opening the door to a huge amount of people. Now, it's entirely up to your comfort level as a seller whether you choose to have an open house or not. Some people just aren't comfortable with it. Some people don't really care about it. And statistically speaking, only about 3% of the time will the actual buyer that attends the open house be the one that buys the house. I mean, so that one's kind of a, you know, take it or leave it. It's up to you kind of deal. But it can, the 3% odds are in your favor of getting the qualified buyer to buy your house. I mean, heck, we do everything that we can as a real estate agent to be tenacious and to represent your best interest and get your home sold at the best price possible as quickly as possible. It's one more avenue that perhaps should be explored with your trusted real estate advisor. Now, if you have any questions about this video, I'm going to go ahead and put my contact information up. Please feel free to reach out to me. And again, if you need help finding a trusted real estate advisor where you live, or if you simply want to say hi, feel free to drop me a line. Now, why don't you tell me what you're thinking about this video? What other myths and facts can you think about and things that you're wondering about? Put them in the comments section below and tell us where you are and tell us what your thoughts are so we can continue to learn and grow as a community. And if you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this video. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, please share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help. Thank you so much for watching today, and between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you.